It's very rare that I like request somebody to come on the show, and I literally could not wait for you to come on the show. The whole time I was just like, Chelley and Ace, they need to be together. It's so funny how invested I was, they'll tell you. I just loved you and Ace from the beginning when you had to pick someone else at the other villa or whatever, and I was like, no, don't do that. Chelley, don't do it. Hey guys, we are back and I am so excited. My favorite girl is here.
Hi guys.
Chelley, welcome to Sorry We're Cyrus.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, on the whole Love Island thing, I mean, you were my girl.
Oh my gosh. And that means so much to me. To hear that is so crazy.
You were just the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Like truly, your personality, all of it. I just feel like you were just a shining bright light on that show.
You know what? Sure. And I felt like that. I'm not going to lie. Like I felt like I was on this vacation just having fun and chilling and stuff. So the fact that you see my personality through the TV is like, wow, thank you. I really appreciate
and I
that.
felt like you were such a girl's girl and just like, I don't know. I felt like you just were perfect on that show.
Well, thank
and
you.
It felt like you were actually you.
I was, yeah. Because you know what? When you're there, I mean, at least for me, it's like, I don't know what else I'm supposed to be, you know? Like, I don't even know what's really going on. So all I can do is just wake up and be myself.
Totally.
So, yeah.
Well, today we are sharing with Chelley this amazing Tish smoothie.
It's so good.
That I did with What a Peach. And it's here in LA. And all the proceeds go. You guys know I love the Downtown Women's Shelter so much. And I know it means a lot to Chelley as well, which brings me to... Yep. You just telling us about Chelley before Love Island.
Yeah.
Like, where are you from?
So I'm from, like, there's a whole background to it. Everyone's like, so where is she from? Where is she from? So I was born in Miami.
Okay.
And I lived there, like, you know, for a little bit of my childhood. And in between them, my family, we moved a lot. So I moved to Orlando. I moved to a small town in Florida called Port Charlotte. And then from there, 2011, I moved to New York. So I was living in Long Island for a couple of years, like all of my high school career. And then I went to Queens, New York for college and been there ever since. And then just moved to Orlando.
Wow.
In March. But now I'm here in LA.
Okay.
So I'm all over.
You really
all over.
I honestly wish I would have done that because now, like, I'm so crazy. I'm so about being at home and I get so anxious traveling.
No, you know, I mean, it's like a pro and a con because for me, it makes it easier for me to adjust no matter where I'm at. Exactly. But also it's just like, it almost makes me feel like, well, what do I really call home? Like, you know how some people are like, oh, you know, I have this home for 20 years where I grew up in and this and that. I don't have that story. So it's just kind of like, home is almost wherever I make it or where family is, you know? So,
totally.
Yeah.
I really wish I was more like that. But, I'm going to get to my notes that good old Kelsey writes up for me because I could go on and just be completely off track.
No, me too. I'll be right with you.
I know that you have talked about like a part of your story, like a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
And I wasn't for sure if you'd experienced homelessness or someone in your family had.
No, so it was my family and I who experienced that. Yeah. And you know what? It was such a crazy moment for me to even share that on TV because it didn't feel like I was on TV in that moment. It just felt like I was talking to someone that I care about and someone I really wanted to let know more about me and where I came from. So to see it afterwards, like that's something that no one knows. I guarantee you, like no one, like only maybe a few people from like few friends from high school that I was close with at the time, maybe 2 people. But after that in college, that's not something I ever opened up about because it was more so like, okay, this happened in the past. And at the time, too, I was young. I was in high school. I was embarrassed. Like one second, you know, life is like this. And the next thing you know, like, you know, my family can't afford where we're living. And New York is super expensive. And my dad is looking for jobs. And so much stuff was happening where it's like New York is not affordable. And then to have 4 kids with you at the same time and doing all these things, like you get into a situation. So I remember just one day my parents telling us like, hey, we have to move out. We're like, okay, but where are we going? And they're like, we're going to figure it out. So that became a whole situation going down to, what is it called? I think it's like I can't remember the exact name of the offices, but where social workers are, and they're trying to help you with getting placed and stuff. So, you know, I remember us getting into, like, we spent all day there trying to figure out what's going to happen. They ended up placing us in a shelter. We were there for some time. Then we ended up moving they put us in a house, and then that didn't end up working out because pipes were bursting there or something. It wasn't livable. So we went back to being in the shelter. So it was like that consistently for like all of my high school career. And again, no one knew that. Yeah.
That is crazy. So I love the LA's downtown women's shelter. Like it's one of my favorite days is when I get to go and hang out there, because some of the ladies there have been residents for years and years. And then also in the main part, probably like, I think they said like 300 women a day come through to get their meals.
Yeah.
But like the other day I was there and there was this lady and she was so chic. Like what the outfit she had put together was actually insane. Like I was like, oh my God. And it made me realize, like, so many of these people, like you said, first of all, LA now is almost as expensive as New York.
Yeah.
And people really can't afford to live here.
Exactly. And that's what it is. It's like the cost of living is insane. So no matter, I would think, I'm like, my mom is a nurse. My dad is in school for computer tech. Like, why can't we make ends meet? But it's like when you have 5 kids, 4 right in front of you, literally so many different bills piling up on top of each other, it just doesn't add up, you know. So many different things come into the equation, and it's like not having really support outside of just them two, it's really hard. So I'm like, you know, we're just in this situation together. So even though it was like a lot of times it was devastating, being that our family is so tight though, it made the experience like a little bit easier because we could at least relate with one another. Because it was like we were all on the same page. We didn't want nobody to know nothing. My mom was like, listen, we're not going to dress like we're going through it. You guys are going to still dress nice to school, have everything that you need, everything else. But it just was tough. So I could understand why so many people experience homelessness.
Me too.
Things. Yeah.
Like I always am saying, like, especially right now, like so many people, like I'm like, I don't know how they afford to live here.
Yeah. And that's what like, it's just so crazy to me. And being now, like, that's why I'm so blessed for like where I'm at now. And even for my family, like the situation is completely different. Like we have a home, everyone is like doing their thing. I'm so proud. Like I just sit back every time to see every single one of us. And I'm like, wow, we really came from it, like, and through it. So, you know, I'm really happy. But even for myself, I'm like, you know, now I'm in a position to then give back as well, too. So my biggest thing now has been with my team. I'm like, yo, who can we work with? What organizations can we work with for people who don't have homes, who don't have food to celebrate for the holidays, or people to be around? Like, where can I put myself and help out? Because I understand exactly how it feels. So,
which is so incredible. Because I was talking to the last week, we had a girl on the show where she is all talking about mental health and like, you know, things that have such a stigma and people are embarrassed to admit.
Yeah.
And like the same thing. I mean, like, I'm sure that's so hard when you're going through it.
Oh, yeah.
And it makes you feel some sort of a way. So to have people know that you went through that and can just overcome it is so incredible.
Yeah. And there's so much power in letting go, you know? When you hold on to it, it's like you're not wrong for what you went through. Like, it's not something that you could handle, and you'll be surprised how many other people share the same story and are then inspired about it. Because there's so many celebrities that I look up to, and when I hear their stories of where they came from, I'm like, how? Like,
right?
What? And I can understand how in the moment you feel like, again, you're embarrassed, you don't want to know, you want to put up this facade, but after it, it's like, you know what, actually, this is not the first time and the only time this is going to happen. This is going to happen to the next person, because so many different circumstances can happen. So if I could be that voice of reason and like to help you in that situation, or even be like a living proof of what can happen and how things can change, then I want to be that, you know?
Yes, it's amazing. Like, is there any type of support like during that time you wish you would have had that you didn't, or was your family pretty much your support? I would think
it was pretty much just my family. I think what it was for me, I got to being in there, and it's so funny how life works, because one of my biggest things is in the future having my own nonprofit organization, helping families with homelessness and providing resources for them. Because being actually in there, it's one thing to kind of look at a situation like, maybe they could use this, maybe they could use that. But since I was living it, I know what would have made all the difference. So it was just so many things. Like, I feel like one of the things that these shelters would have is like, okay, you guys need to fill out 10 forms of places that you looked at to prove that you're trying to look for a place. But it's like, are you really giving me the resources or the direction to show me how can I get these places? Like, how can I buy a home being in the situation that I'm in? I probably have bad credit, not enough income, this and that. How can I access these things rather than telling me just fill out this paperwork so that you could feel like I'm not just using up these spaces just because I don't want to work. No one wants to be in that situation, but are we really providing the right resources? I don't think so. So it's making me reflect and think, okay, you know what? I know how we could show up more. So really like just creating opportunities for us to not feel like we're in that set environment, like more homework help or more education on how to be financially literate and just different stuff like that. But those things don't happen.
They actually don't. Mm-mm. That is incredible. There's an organization in Nashville and I love it. And I wish more people would do this because you're exactly right. I feel like you kind of have to prove that you're worthy of the help or something. But in this place, it's through the YWCA.
Okay.
And these women that have been there like long periods of time and really want to, like get out of their situation. Yeah. The YWCA helps them by putting them into an apartment for a year.
And I love that.
And they pay for it for a year. And they take this, there's an organization, which I would love to do here, that takes gently used furniture and like kitchenware, bath, all that, and you literally, I've been a part of it. You literally go in and decorate their apartment.
Wow!
From all this gently used stuff, and it's everything you need to start: toothpaste, toothbrush, down to the couches, the TVs,
and that's so beautiful. People really need that because some of the situations. I remember one of the shelters we had to be at was like a motel style. So it was 2 motel rooms, and in one room was me and all of my siblings sharing one room, and my parents in the other one.
Wow!
And you're not allowed to have a stove. You're not allowed to have certain stuff you can't have. We only were allowed to have a microwave. So it went as far as like my mom cooking dinner in the microwave, trying to make things work. And it's like, that's not healthy. That's not okay. And it just was not the environment to place people in. So it's like, I don't know, like there's just so much people who experience homelessness and not enough resources and spaces for said people. And it's like, well, this is not something that's going to go away until we do something about it. Yeah.
That's why I loved this. And it was a private organization this lady started, but I'm like, we even like, they would cook them dinner because they weren't there. We didn't ever get to meet the families.
Okay.
But they would cook them dinner, have it on the table ready for them to come home and sit down and have dinner together. And
that's so beautiful.
They would always write letters, like the mom or whoever would write a letter. And it was like, that's what they would say. Thank you for making me feel worthy of like having a home and not being like in a motel or whatever in a shelter.
Because you want to feel like normal again, you want to feel comfortable in all of this. Like I can only imagine the stress. Like as a child, I have a different type of stress, but as my parents, I know they felt so many different feelings. And it's like, if there was even just the smallest way that they could feel like what is happening is somewhat normal or that they can get through it, then it's like, that would have been nice,
Yeah. Especially like not feeling like you had to figure out your housing and all the things, but being able to just have a home. And then I think it makes you want to go out and get a job or do whatever to support you and to stay in that situation.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because that's the thing is they do it for a year and then if they want to stay, then they take over. But I just loved it. I thought it was so amazing.
I think that was beautiful.
Really, really cool.
I wish we had more of that.
Yeah.
And we will.
Hey guys, our next sponsor of the podcast is called Ritual. And I have taken Ritual for years. It is a once a day mint flavored pill that actually I don't mind taking at all. And it has everything you need truly for your gut. It is like a 3-in-1. It has a pre, pro, and post biotics to support your gut and your microbiome, which I have been reading so much about. And it's just a part of my everyday routine, and I love it. One of my favorite things is it's a delayed release capsule that gets all the way to your colon, not just your stomach. And your colon is the place where probiotics can grow, survive, and live. So it's just a once daily mint scented capsule for bloat, gut, and regularity support. It's vegan friendly and formulated without GMOs, which is so important. So get your gut going, support a balanced gut microbiome with Ritual Synbiotic Plus. My listeners get early access to their Black Friday sale for 40% off your first month of ritual.com/Cyrus. That's ritual.com/Cyrus for 40% off of your first month. Don't miss out on their best sale of the season. Hey guys, our next sponsor is dupe.com, and you know how obsessed I am with that website. I have been working on a few friends and family's houses lately, which has made me want to redo my entire house. And everything that I love is so expensive. So I started using dupe.com, and I love it so much because what I love is you're not getting some sketchy knockoff of the furniture or gadget or the clothing that you're going to find. Because the truth is, most products that you see online, they're all made in the exact same factory. They're just mass produced, and then people put different names on them and charge different prices. So it's no wonder that Dupe's gone completely viral on TikTok. Millions of people already use it and save thousands of dollars on furniture and decor. And it's always up to 60, 70, 80% off. You can actually find anything that you want by just typing in dupe.com / and do it before any URL product. And Dupe instantly shows you more similar and affordable options. I love it so much. Dupe.com really is the easiest holiday shopping hack. Just type dupe.com / before any product URL in your browser, and boom, it instantly finds you more affordable alternatives. Perfect for gifting. They even have an app and a browser extension you can download. No account required, no sign up required. It's completely free to use. Stop overspending on brand names and start saving on holiday gifts with dupe.com. What's helped you most to kind of get past that?
Growing up, I always knew this was not my end all be all. You know, it was just a circumstance. So whatever I then decided to do was completely in my control, because you're not always a product of your environment. Yeah. You can break out of that, you know? So it was always just having a vision of okay, I know I'm going to be big. I know I'm going to be successful. I know I'm going to do exactly what it is that I want to do. I know I'm going to help the world, all of these things. So that's what kept me driven to make sure I reach that goal. So that was really my ammo behind it all. And also just wanting to turn around and be okay, I could take care of my family. And my parents, they're so prideful. They're girl, we're here to help you. You're not here to help us. But it's no, it's not even about help. It's just showing that I care, and just I don't know, just showing appreciation too. They're we don't need that from you. We're proud of you. We see how hard you've worked from, the moment we had you, So they're we're just proud of you. We don't need anything from you. And I'm it's not about that. It's just appreciation. And just the fact that I can makes me feel happy, because, it's one thing to envision it, and then it's another when it's finally here, and it's wow, I literally visioned this happening. Totally. And it's here now. Yeah.
It's so funny because Alandria said that too.
Oh, did she? That's so crazy.
She said that she used to look in the mirror and go, girl, this is not for you. Oh my God. I'm supposed to be doing that.
No, but that's a real thing though. Yeah. It's I feel when you're living in a life that doesn't feel like it's yours, especially when you're someone who's very driven and has all these goals. Me, I'm the type of person, every year I have my vision board. I like to see everything.
This is
I write
Molly
it down.
Too.
No, and that's really what it is, because you have to see it to believe it. And I know you've heard that.
You do that
so
too.
With that being said, when you see it, it feels okay, you know what? It's in my hand. It's in my mind. I like to think in my mind in a different, what is it? In a different world, I'm already living this life. But I'm just catching up to it. So I'm okay, if I envision it, that means it's about to happen. Okay. So I don't know when.
I've been working on this because I've never thought like that. No. And I want to, because I believe manifesting is absolutely real.
Yeah.
And since Molly was young too, same thing.
And
she knew.
Exactly. And what's so crazy? Though I just realized the word was manifesting. For me, it was just there's just no way. If someone else did it, then I know I can do it too. So when I'm getting older, I'm realizing that, okay, when I'm learning the manifestation and how people manifest is by almost acting as if it's here already.
It's already happened.
Wow, okay, then that is what it is. Because when you're a little kid and you're I'm going to be the next best singer, and you're dancing in the mirror, putting on different hair and stuff like that. That's a way of you manifesting it happening, because you're living in it, So now being an adult is just okay, I said I'm going to do this. I want this. Let me just put it on a board so I can see it every day and feel it, because now I know, who the person I need to be in alignment with where I'm going, So
totally,
it's a whole thing to it, but it's just feel it and it's yours.
Oh,
basically.
My son Trace, he's all about this. He was just telling me yesterday.
Really?
He was giving me a pep talk Mom, you just have to believe it. Mom,
no,
you
but
just have
seriously,
to, and I was
because I feel once you believe it, nobody else has any choice but to believe it too. No one can tell you anything. You can't be discouraged. It's all on your timing. So it's okay, if it's gonna happen, we don't know when, but we know it's gonna happen.
Totally.
So.
I just love that. So like now, because of your situation, is there kind of like this like feeling of more safety?
Surprisingly, no.
Okay.
It's a little bit more fear. And like it changes each day because I always try to put myself in the mindset. Like when I'm starting my day, I meditate. I say some affirmations just to get myself in a good space, even if I don't feel like it waking up. But it's because I need something to keep me grounded. So even when all of this was happening, like it almost feels like, oh my gosh, I could lose this at any second, because I knew what it was like not to have it. So even though, and it's so confusing because it's like, well, this is what like I prayed for. This is what I said I wanted. This is what I said is going to happen. So why is it that now that it's here, I'm so scared that I'm going to lose it? So, and it just comes from a place of like scarcity of being in that place before. So now I have to always constantly remind myself, like, you know what, you're safe, you're fine. Like, as long as like you didn't get here for no reason. It's because I did all the right things. Like I stayed focused. And if I move with that same intention, then things will always be the same. So some days I'm like, okay, wow, like I would have never imagined, like I feel so at peace where I used to be so like uptight about certain things. I'm like, wow, I can actually breathe. Like I don't have to worry. I don't have to figure out, okay, when I was basically working paycheck to paycheck, I'm like, okay, I have to pay this, that. And I was living in New York City by myself. So
wow.
Paying that type of rent. And also at the time I was a student too, and all these different things. It was like, everything was paycheck to paycheck. Like I have to budget out this much for groceries, this much for this and that and whatever. And now it's like I have more of a freedom because that lifestyle, like some of the things in my life, I still have to worry about. But now I just have so much more where it's like I don't have to feel like, oh my gosh, this is suffocating me. How am I going to do this? How long do I have to wait? Like it's not that anymore. So I just got to keep reminding myself like, okay, you're good. You're good. Just be smart. And it's only just going to get better. That's it.
These girls are impressive.
No,
it's really insane.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's yeah, like I like honestly, because I'm just learning all this.
I used to always watch a lot of personal development videos.
Really?
And I started that because I used to try to get into fitness a lot, and I love fitness now. But in the beginning of it all, I remember joining a group. I think it was like Herbalife. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah.
But it was Herbalife, and one of the things that they did was have a personal development call every morning with these team meetings. So I didn't end up going forward like deep into the Herbalife life,
right?
But the personal development calls did mean something to me because you're watching all these videos that are like teaching you so many things and about mindset. So that's when I realized, I'm like, the life that you live really is about mindset. So if you have a strong mind, then you can go through anything. You could overcome anything. So I've looked up so many different scenarios of things that I'm feeling. And even watching, aside from personal development videos, like Sarah Jake Roberts, I believe her name is.
Okay.
She's more on the religion spectrum. So she is in the church, and she speaks about so many different topics, and I'm always watching her videos too. So I'm always watching things that speak life into me, and so that I could get a different perspective on things, because I'm like, whatever it is I'm feeling, I'm not the first to feel it,
True.
So how can I handle this better? And it brings me so much more peace, because before I used to be someone who's super controlling just with my own self. Like this has to be like this, that has to be like that. That's the only way it's going to work. And then if it didn't work out in my favor, now I'm like devastated or so anxious. Like I used to have really bad anxiety because it's like things aren't going how I expected them to, but really leaning into my faith and even doing those personal development things and like searching for ways to grow has helped me a lot, because I'm like, okay, not everything needs to be in my control. Let me control what I can, and whatever I can't, I put my faith into God, and the rest is the rest, and that actually helped me and teaches me so much.
Oh, I want to find out who she is. Sarah
Jake Roberts.
I'll have to,
Sarah Jake Roberts.
Look that up. I would love that.
Yes, please. You would love her videos.
Okay.
And she's so passionate about what she speaks about.
Yeah. I always am like overwhelmed by all the information, especially on social media. But like last year, I was so anxious. I had never gone through that, but I just had a horrible year of anxiety. But I would love to like start my day by like listening to something like that. Exactly. I think it would be so good for me.
And I don't know if you're religious.
I am.
So how I usually start my mornings, and I had to create this routine because before my mornings was grab my phone, I'm on social media and I'm just doom scrolling. And mind you, I wasn't even scrolling to look at just nonsense, I'm just researching something else. Like, how do I do this? What can I do with that? Da, da, da. And it's just like, I'm being so anxious about my future so much that every single day I'm trying to figure out, okay, what more can I do? What more can I do? And I was like, I need to relax. So in the morning, I changed my whole routine. I'm like, before 12 o'clock, no social media. So I'm listening, and no hip hop or anything like that. So I'm listening to gospel music. I'm meditating. I'm again, doing my affirmations, working out, just creating a habit where it's like I'm pouring into me before I then get into the world for real.
That is amazing. And I could see Ace being into that too. Is he?
Yeah. Well, you know what? He's like, he's going to jump on that phone. But, but I have been telling him, like, you know what? We need to start, especially coming out of this experience, like, that was a whole other thing in itself too, because I was in an island for 2 months, no social media, no family, no friends, like getting to know new people. And there's a whole nother life when you're on a reality TV show.
I'm sure.
So it's like to come back, and then now I'm facing a new reality. Now I'm, dealing with, okay, I have supporters, I have fans. Okay. I have people who don't like me. And it's like, okay, like all of these things. But then what we experienced too was just like a lot of love. Don't get me wrong. Then also there's a lot of hate, and it doesn't top the love, but it's also just so like disgusting though,
It's so hard.
Seeing that every morning people are attacking you based off of what they've seen on TV, and mind you, they don't truly know you. It's like it could do something to you a little bit, So it was just
big
like,
time.
You know what, we have to get off of social media. Like in the morning, let's dedicate that to our peace of mind, just so that you can set yourself up for whatever it is that you're about to see, so that you know that what they're saying is not true. It's not your truth.
Totally.
You don't have to embrace none of that, because it's just not good for us. So
it's really not.
He's very open-minded. So when I was saying like, this is the routine we should do, he was very much like, okay, yes. I agree. Let's do it.
Because Molly she doesn't really do social media because of that reason.
And I understand, being on the outside. And I think it's so cool that I got to be on the other side of it versus now being in it, because now I can understand, like, even when I was someone who was a viewer, let's say of the show last year was my first time watching it, I obviously watched it, and of course we're going to have our people we gravitate towards, and the people who are like, not feeling them so much, but never once did I feel a hate in my heart or urge to act any type of way, and then now being on the opposite side, it's like, wow, you guys really don't get to really see my truth. What you think is my truth is not really that, so it's like, I completely resonate, and it's just like, I can't understand how people still can bring themselves to treat people like they're not humans.
I mean, I've had my own share of that with people doing that to me. And I really, like, I didn't realize like how much it affects you.
Yeah.
But when, like, watching my kids go through it, like, especially my youngest daughter, Noah, like, there's just been so much, and since she was so young, of people doing that, just
that's so horrible.
And honestly, it really does. Like, it has to do something to you.
No, it does. Like, you could be the strongest person ever. And I like to think that I am.
Yeah.
But we're human. So,
totally.
Like I said, you have to put yourself in a mindset. But before you could do that, you're going to feel these feelings. And then you can be able to be like, okay, you know what? Let's pause. Let's go back. This is not, I don't need to be embracing this. This is not me.
No.
But in a moment, you do feel it.
You feel it. And honestly, it's like so hard sometimes to ignore.
Yeah.
And I think the hardest part is like you said, like, especially with the show like you were on, there's so much editing, and like the editors of those shows, I mean, they just want it for ratings.
It's a show. Yeah.
And it's a show.
Exactly.
And it's not even, a lot of it is really what happened.
Exactly.
And so, they spin it the way they want. And I think that's really even harder to know that, like, most of the things we see on those shows aren't even really how it goes down.
Yeah.
Or who you kind of are in some ways. And, but yeah, I mean, it's like everybody has so many opinions.
They do.
And so many, like, it's just so judgmental. It's it's hard for me, because when I see like just some posts on TikTok about, it doesn't even matter what it is.
Yeah.
And then people are just coming for your,
I'm just like, not matter. And it's crazy. I'm someone who's very big on peace and love. And it's not because I'm like, just saying it. Like, I literally mean that with my heart and mind. And so, like, my parents raised me in that type of way. They always raised me that, we don't judge anybody. Like, you don't need to, don't ever make in front of nobody. Don't ever let me find out you are bullying anybody. You see somebody sitting by themselves, you welcome them to the table. You always treat people with love. That's how my parents raised me. So it's like, know nothing other than that, you know? Yep. So I'm never going to try to be, you know, evil. Even to people who probably aren't the nicest to me, I still can't find it in me to be like that to them. So to see people be like this, I'm like, it's okay to have differing opinions. It's okay to feel how you feel, but understand like what you're saying to people too. Like you don't have to come at people no type of way. Like one thing I hate to see is a lot of people from my season, like, and because we were together, we experienced this, to know afterwards, I've gotten to be in contact with some people to see, you know, how's your mental, how have you been feeling? And they're very defeated, like, because what some people say online is just so horrible. And it's like, obviously, you know,
so bad.
Well, actually, I can't even say obviously, you know, like, these people won't do these things, because you have people also threatening you. And it's like, should I be taking this lightly or should I take it seriously?
Oh, I know.
We have people who are actually crazy in the world where it's like, I can't question that. So now I'm worried about my safety because you're telling me all of these types of crazy things. So it's like, it's not fair, especially for a show. The show, like, I even watch it back myself just because I'm like, okay, let me see how bad were these edits for y'all to feel to be acting like this. And I'm watching it and I'm like, I'm still waiting. I don't see the part. Like, I don't get it either. I'm like, maybe I'm biased, but honestly, I just don't see it.
Being a fan of the show, like, I remember it was the week that, like, the fans voted or something, and then they put you all who the fans loved the most.
The bubbles?
And then you
were rating us, right?
Yes. And you
oh
and
my
Ace
gosh,
like
at the bottom every single time.
First of all, I was like, what am I not seeing that everyone else is? Because like, this is not how I would be rating these people. What?
It's so funny because I remember what they told us was like, you know, as a group, we're gonna rank each other, like align ourselves up, and then they're gonna let us know what America said. So as a group, they would keep putting Ace and I in the front.
I know.
And when America spoke, it was the complete opposite. And in that moment, I remember before we even did it, I remember I was like, you know what? No matter what happens, like, I'm open to constructive criticism. So it was a difference. If it was the people that I've been with for the past 6 weeks who said, Chelley, yeah, go ahead, get to the bottom.
Totally.
I would have been able to sit down with them and been like, hey guys, like, okay, let me know, explain to me, because I want to be a better person. Like, if I've been making you guys feel like this, let me know. But none of them felt like that. We were all shocked. So when it was America, I was like, America, what's going on?
Me too.
What I do to you,
America? Because I'm watching it just like anyone else, and I'm like, wait, what is happening?
Yeah, so
like, I really did not understand it. Like, what are these people thinking?
No, I was just like, nuts. You know what? America, okay. I wish I knew what y'all were watching. That's all I want to know. It's like, what are we watching?
Because I think we do.
And then on top of that too, I think the biggest thing too is like, when you go into those like reality TV, you're told to be yourself, you know? So in my mind, I can only assume that if I'm being myself, I know I'm not like some of the rankings we had, least genuine, most genuine, and this and that, and being on the bottom of all these different things. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I did not think that that's the type of person I am.
I did not see that at all.
So it was just like, you know what? That's where I kind of like opened my mind a little bit more, and I was wondering, what is on TV? Because I thought everything that's happening verbatim is what's on TV. So maybe things are a little bit different, which watching it back, I did see, but it's just like, that was
still
a
didn't
crazy
see that.
Yeah.
I just did not see that at all.
It was a crazy season, I'll tell you that. Like, until afterwards, that's when I got to learn, like, oh, okay, now I understand what you mean. It was crazy. Like, when my dad came, he was like, no. But on family day, he's like, no, it's crazy. Like, and, you know, obviously they don't show that, but he's like, no, you don't understand. Like, it's crazy. And I'm like, you know, parents, I'm like, he don't know what he's talking about.
Totally.
He probably sees like some followers on Instagram and he's like, oh my gosh, my daughter's famous, or oh my gosh, this is so big. Like, you're just saying anything, but then to come out and see, you know, watch parties and this and that. And it was just like, oh, okay.
So were we kind of watching almost in real time?
Yeah, you guys were. Pretty much. Yeah, I think maybe a couple days apart. Okay. Pretty much, almost.
Your all season's the first season I ever watched. And then, like, I thought it had been over for like 6 months or 7 months. And when Olandria came on, we were like, wait, what? She goes, oh, yeah, I've only been home for like 4 days.
Yes.
I'm like, what?
In real time, yeah.
That's
crazy.
It
was crazy.
Yeah.
And then, you know, coming off of it, it's like, boom, you're getting right into it. Like, okay, you might want to get a team together. Okay, you have this call, you have this press, you have this. And it's like, hold on, wait a minute.
I bet that's insane. Was Ace ready for all that?
Yeah.
I feel like he could handle anything.
He can, but I think just for all of us, like, it's just a whole different level. Even though he has his, like, he had his own exposure beforehand.
Oh, he did.
but this was just a whole different thing, especially like now people are seeing you as a character more so than a person. So all of these different things. So, and I don't think anyone was really prepared for it, to be honest.
It's so funny how invested I was, they'll tell you. But not just saying that, like, I just loved you and Ace from the beginning. Even when things, I guess sometimes you were going that other, when you had to pick someone else at the other villa or whatever. And I was like, no, don't
do that.
Chelley, don't do it.
You know, because my biggest thing about that, I remember going on the show, it was like, you know, I didn't want any expectations. I didn't want to set myself up to think, okay, this is what I want. This is how it's going to happen. Da, da, da. It was just like, okay, look, I have no idea what could happen. I don't know what this is, but we're just going to enjoy it and embrace it. If this is about finding my person, then I'm going to make sure I do that. Like, I never was one who was super picky. Well, I won't say I'm not super picky, but, you know, I'm more so... I gravitate to people and their energy, and then immediately after is attraction. So it's like, okay, I gravitate to you and I'm attracted to you. Okay, it works. So
that's exactly me.
Going into the whole thing, it was like, okay, like at some point when Ace and I really were meshing together, it was like, oh my gosh, okay, this is kind of scaring me, because not that I didn't expect this to happen, to find someone, but it's like, okay, I'm really clicking with this person, but then now I'm being exposed and I'm meeting more people, and I'm like, okay, well, I did say I will come here and truly like put myself out there, so let me fully do that, and I'll find clarity in what I'm looking for, which I obviously ended up doing. But it was just like, okay, I really want to make sure I'm embracing this, because this is a once in a lifetime. Y'all not gonna get me on a dating show again.
Oh, totally.
Y'all are not.
I just felt like with him, and not making this about the show, everything, but just about, I just vibe people. I literally feel like I'm just like, I just do. And from day one, like, I just felt like he truly, like, I don't feel like he would have just been with someone to be with them.
No.
Like, he seems like so, like, I loved who he was on the show.
No, yeah. And they definitely showed some of his personality, but not the best parts of it, you know, because he is someone who's very intentional, and he seems do what I say and I mean what I say, you know what I mean?
Totally.
So the whole thing, even when the whole boundaries thing came up, you know, I respected that, because I want someone who knows themselves, you know, and knows what they want. They're just not going to just do anything just because, you know, they're very intentional and like also in alignment with my own self. So I am also that type of person. So it just worked out so well, where it's like, okay, you know what? I'm glad that you can do this, because that shows a whole nother level of maturity, because a lot of people don't have that in them, you know?
He was so mature.
Yeah.
I was like shocked. Like I loved him because I felt like, I was like, oh, this guy's like the real deal. He's on here for the right reasons. He's not going to do things just because it makes for good TV.
No.
Like, he's sticking to who he actually is. Like, he does have an opinion, and he's not afraid to say it. I just felt like he, more than anyone, like, was so genuinely who he was.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
He is.
It's refreshing when people are real.
It really is. And I feel like I could tell when people are real. Like, I pick up on people's energy, like, very quickly. Like, it takes me not too long to be around someone and be like, are we gonna mesh or are we not gonna mesh? Do you have good intentions or do you not? So being around him, I could tell, like, okay, your intentions are pure, like, they're genuine, like,
totally,
I'm good here.
And I loved it that, I mean, like, he knew who he wanted and he was sticking with it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
He's like, he don't play. No, seriously, I'm such a lover girl. So it was like, wow, it worked out for me.
Because the whole time I was just like, oh my God, they're so good.
Hey, Stoners, I'm super stoked because our show is being sponsored today by Liquid IV. This is a product that I have used consistently for a couple of years, and I absolutely love it. I'm super stoked because they have a new product coming out called Liquid IV's Energy Multiplier. And I cannot wait to try it, because I do find that with Liquid IV in my water, even if I'm in an afternoon slump, that it will give me energy. It's absolutely amazing. The best thing about Liquid IV is I love the little packages it comes in, because no matter if I'm in the car, if I'm on set somewhere, no matter what I'm doing, even if I'm just at one of my kids' houses, I always have, they call it my safety cup, because I always have a cup of water with Liquid IV in it. And so no matter where I'm at, it's so easy just to pour in a glass of water and make sure you're getting all the nutrients and things that you need for the day. I love it that you get 100% of your daily value of 4 essential B vitamins, B3, 5, 6, and 12 for energy. It truly is just my go-to for hydration. So for me personally, I love that their new product, the Energy Multiplier, is going to come in strawberry kiwi and blackberry lemonade. So if you guys want to give Liquid IV a try, get focused, ditch the glitch, and with zero sugar and zero crash from Liquid IV, tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with code Cyrus. And that's 20% off your first order with code Cyrus at liquidiv.com. Cheers.
Let me find my place because I was just talking. Oh, this is a good one. Well, okay. What part of your storyline was the most accurate, and what part was like, that's not really me? Or was there a time when you felt like it was not as representative of who you are?
The most accurate was,
I kind of feel like you always were just very genuine.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to think of it. And I'm like, I feel like throughout it, like it really showed who I was.
I think so too.
The most inaccurate, I would say, like, once the drama started happening, it almost made it like, I don't know, it made it seem like I was just this type of person. Like I had no reason behind my emotions and why I felt how I felt. But I feel like when there's a lot not being seen, then you can't ever understand it,
Totally.
So that was the only thing, was like, well, these things happen. I'm a very rational person. I'm very unbiased. Even in my own feelings and in my own hurt, I could step aside what I'm feeling and also feel what the next person is feeling too. So I'll never be in a situation where I'm just acting out just because, and also because it's like, it's not in my nature. Like, that's just not the type of person that I am. Like, I've never been one to just like, I don't have those stories of like super crashing out on my ex and doing this and that and acting this and that way. I just don't. Like, I've always been a person who's just very calm and chill. And I'm just like, okay, either this is for me or it's not, So in my moments of like, if I get super frustrated, I think even on the show, it was a situation of, I'm in this place. I learned so much about myself. And it was like I was, just going through a whole different situation. Like, I didn't have moments to process whatever it was I was feeling. Usually my routine of processing things is like, okay, something happens. Hey, I need some time. And I completely remove myself from the situation, meaning I'm not looking at nobody in the face. I'm not going to be still sleeping next to you, sitting next to you. I get to be in my own space and just breathe and just come back and be like, hey, this isn't that. But it's like, this is not that environment.
No.
If there's an issue, it's still sitting in your face all day, every day. And maybe even more adding on to it. So many different things where you just don't get a second to just process things and like come at a different perspective. And then emotions are so heightened, because I remember one moment, I remember that still to this day, I will say still to this day, but especially even freshly getting out the villa, where if I thought about it, it would trigger tears in me, was like the Casa elimination when Alandria had left. That was a moment where I remember feeling so emotional, and I cried like literally for 3 days straight, just because it was a situation of like, wow, I think I was going through a feeling of like, it's like I make these close relationships with people and then they're yanked away. Like, people are leaving so quickly. Like, so many of the people that I met there, we made friendships, like off camera too, that you guys didn't get to see, where it's like, okay, you build these bonds with these people. You guys open up to each other. I'm getting to know your story, and I'm an empath. So it's like, you guys are telling me your stories, and I'm just looking at you in a whole different light, where I'm like, wow, I want you to be here forever. Like, I want you to just, be safe and enjoy this, because it took so much of you to be here. So I want you to fully be able to embrace this experience and enjoy it. And it's like, boom, you just disappear. And I felt like, damn, I just made a friend. And now it almost feels like you're never going to speak to them again.
I could see that.
Being there, it just feels like that. I don't have like my phone to call my mom or my best friends or whatever. It's like, what is in front of me is there. So to say you and I will get close and then boom, you just go, like, it just was too much. And that was happening too often. Like, where it's like, oh my gosh, like, you guys set people up for almost failure in a little bit. Because it's like, it's almost like not an abandonment thing, but I don't know. It's just, maybe it's I'm trying to find the right word, but it's like, people are here one second and then gone the next. And no one
not do good
will
with
understand it, because until you sign up, go through the process and end up there and do this whole thing of isolation and this and that, you're never going to understand. It just looks like, oh my God, didn't they meet 2 days ago?
Oh, I know.
No, you guys don't understand.
Totally.
You won't understand.
That would really affect me in a huge way too.
Yeah.
Because I'm like that with people too.
Exactly. So it was just like, and me, I'm not someone, being like, I explained to you a little bit some about my past and stuff. So with that being said, of all the things that I went through, one thing I've always grown up was always having a guard up and a wall. And one thing I wanted to let go of, especially coming into this, I was saying that, if I'm going to really find someone, that means I have to let my walls down. That's why I was able to sit with Ace and tell him like, hey, this is something that I experienced in my childhood that, was something that pained me, was because I wanted to be that person. Like, I've always had a wall when I went into my relationships. Even my past relationships don't even know that I experienced that. And that's how guarded I was, So with that being said, I really came into this letting all my walls down and letting myself be the emotional person that I was. Like, even in high school when I was going through the homelessness, I remember one day I was crying because I missed the after school shuttle that was going to pick me up. So I was just stuck at my school for hours because where we were placed was like an hour out from my school. Oh, so I had to stay there by myself all day waiting for a ride or somebody to come pick me up. And I was crying. And I remember saying like, you know what, after today, I'm never crying again. And I swear me saying that, it literally stuck with me because I did not cry until like later in college. One day I remember I broke down in front of my best friend I met in college. And she's like, oh my God, I never seen you cry like before. Like, this is breaking my heart. I don't know what to do. Like, I really just don't know what to do. And it's like, because I created this wall. So now me coming into this experience, I said, I don't want any walls. I'm being super open. I even cried to the girls. That was so surprised. Like, at first I tried to hide when I started crying to them because it was so random. Like, we were all talking and I was missing my mom a lot. And this is an off camera thing. And I remember they were talking about mothers. And then for some reason, like, I felt myself getting really emotional. So I ran to the bathroom to go try to wipe my face off. And like, I'm like, okay, they're not going to see me cry, like whatever. So when I go back in there, I still like, if I heard the word mom, the tears came back up. Aww. And I remember one of the girls looked at me and was like, are you crying? And then I was like, and I just started bawling. I was like, I just miss my mom. And
I love that.
And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, I've never been like this emotional and let all these walls down. So in there, my emotions were like on 1,000.
I bet.
Like, it was crazy.
There is no way on this earth I could do what you did. Do you all actually sleep? Can you actually sleep? Like, I kept thinking about it every time the lights would go on, it'd be nighttime. I feel like, honestly, I would just like be like, I just don't feel like I could sleep in that situation.
Well, you want to sleep. That's the thing. Like, your body's exhausted. So it's not even because the first couple nights, no, I couldn't, because we're all just like, okay, we're all strangers. I'm laying next to some guy I just got coupled up with. Like, what is happening right now?
Like, so I could never do this.
But after like 3 nights, I was like, oh yeah, I'm tired. Actually, like, I need this sleep. Like, my body was very hip to knowing like, okay, we don't know what time it is. We don't know what day it is. So you're going to take every second that you could get to get some rest.
I cannot believe you all do not even know the time.
Right. And I thought it was a joke at first. Like, I remember asking production, like, oh, so what time is it? They're like, island time. I'm like, okay, you don't have your phone on you. That's what it is. And then later on, I find out like, actually, no, they're not going to tell you.
The one thing, and then I'll move on because I'm getting way off track. But when you said, are you setting us up for success? Like, I was thinking about, and now it's been so long since I've seen the show, I can't remember who it was. I think it was, she's so Hannah.
I love her so much.
They voted her off or something.
Yeah, so we ended up voting her off.
And or was it because it was, she was with someone at that point.
Yeah.
And I was like shocked that they made someone sleep.
Yeah, it was her story, like her relationships there. It was just so crazy too, because that was another thing too. You feel so emotional because you see couples being put together and then all these different things. So even with her, it was just like, she's such a beautiful person, amazing person. Like, that's my girl. So in there, she did have moments where her person was gone, that she was gone, but she got her person now. So I'm like, everything happened for a reason. Exactly. Like, she looks so happy. So I love that.
But I was just shocked when they'd be like, okay, one couple's going home. And then we're like, wait, what?
Exactly.
And I was like, oh my God.
You know what? Now that's so funny that you say that, because now I could see like how it looks to you guys too when that's happening. Like, I think, 1 second
she
this
was
and
Pepe.
Yeah.
I think she was with Pepe.
I think so. Well, yeah.
Yeah, at that point. But anyway, I was just like, oh, that's so sad, because they seem to have a connection. And then I'm like, oh.
And that happened in there a lot, where it's like, people have connections and then they're lost, and it's just like, damn. Yeah.
Oh, I'm rooting for you.
Thank you. I'm rooting for us too.
How did you, like, at that point, like, keep your mental health in check? Like, was that hard? Like, did you, or was it just so crazy you didn't have time to stop and think about it?
No. You definitely think about it. Like, I'm someone who gets in my head a lot. So being that I wasn't doing my routine, I told you I have a whole morning routine that will try to keep me as grounded as possible. So I wasn't doing that anymore. The only thing that helped was like, you know, we would have therapy. And that was my first time ever experiencing therapy. Oh, wow. Like, I'd never been in therapy before. And when they told us we were going to have a therapist, I'm like, why though? Like, I'm not opposed to it. Like, I always been open to therapy, but it was just like, what about this would I need therapy for? And I learned what I needed for. Yeah, real quick, because it's like so much things is happening that you can't necessarily always speak about it in that moment in time, because for so many different reasons when it comes to curating a show. But with that being said, I can't hold on to stuff. Like, I need to speak to someone. So now when I get to see my therapist, I let it all out and I'm expressing to them how I feel, whether it was missing my family, whether it was this is a lot of pressure, whether I don't know what to do with my feelings, or this is too emotional for me, like, you know, all these different things. So really, I leaned on my therapist a lot in there. And then even the friendships that I had in the villa too, like, you know, when there was people in there that I felt like we shared the same mind and they could understand what I was feeling, I could understand what they're feeling. So having each other was that sense of like home in a way where it's like, great. It's my people from back home that I feel like I'm around too. So both of those went hand in hand. And that was like the best thing, because if I didn't have those two things, I'm like, I don't know how I would have handled that. Like, I really don't know.
And because my girls would not be able to function without me.
Yeah. You know, I get to a point like
when you said you missed your mom and just wasn't your mom. Like, I cannot
because I'm thinking about her a lot. I was like, why am I thinking about my mom so much? Is something happening? Is she okay? Like, are we like in telepathy right now? Like, what's happening? I don't know.
I mean, I just like, I know my girls like don't function without me, like, and I don't function without them. It's like so crazy. And I was just like, oh my God, like, can you imagine Noah, Molly, or Brandy not talking to me for 2 months? So we have a really weird game called the boring game, which we didn't name, but it's really just rapid fire. Okay. Most chaotic moment in the villa we never saw.
Most chaotic moment.
Or did we? Well, they probably showed the most chaotic moments.
No, well, you know what? When I'm thinking chaotic, like, there was moments that were like funny chaotic. Like, what is going on right now? Because at one point we had a point in delirium at this point, you know. But I think one of the moments that I could think of was when the cameras would be off, like when we're sitting around after, like when we had lunch, now we're sitting around for whatever reason for however many hours. Some of the girls would fall asleep, but me, I was always up and dancing. So that was like, I would have them put some music on and I'm dancing all around the room. They're like, Michelle, like, you don't sit, or Chelley, you don't sit down. Like, and I'm like, no, I got to keep going.
Oh my gosh, that'd be me.
Or another time where like, we were just doing cartwheels and stuff for whatever reason. And then 2 of the girls broke their toenails. And we ended up having to help them repair their toenail with glue. And
hilarious.
It was just so weird and so random, but it was like, those little moments were just so funny.
I was going to say that actually sounds fun.
Yeah. It was fun. Because it's like, you know, we're just chilling.
Totally.
Like, we're just chilling.
I love that. Who was the messiest in the villa?
Messiest. Maybe the boys.
Oh,
because you know what? The girls, like, we never had an issue of like I at least to me, I wasn't ever like, oh my gosh, this girl's dirty. Like, it was never that. We all kind of were like the same in that aspect. But with the guys, I will say they were messy in a sense that they would cook the breakfast. But no one was cleaning up after themselves.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, all the dishes and stuff would be all over the place. Food left on the counter. The flies are coming and stuff. So I'll give that to the boys. They definitely were the messiest.
Oh my God. So do they have somebody clean that stuff up after?
We do have someone who will clean it up for the most part.
Because I was actually thinking
for the most part, they want us to clean what we can, but someone will come in and take care of the rest. But it's like, okay, y'all, but this is your space. You guys are adults, so clean up. I was like,
that was one of the funniest things to me, was them making breakfast for the girls. It's so funny. What did you get any like DMs after you got off the show that it was like, oh my God, this person DM'd me?
Yeah, no, there was a few of them. Yeah, a lot of different people, but they were mostly just showing love. Like, you know, like, girl, we're rooting for you. Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. We see you up there. Okay, girl, you know, stuff like that. So it was just like, oh shoot, this is crazy. That's when I knew, like, okay, this is a big thing. Because
massive.
These are people that I used to DM like, oh my gosh, hey, I love you, da, 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 da. And I had to really love them to do that. So
me and Molly was obsessed with you.
Really?
She was like,
and I love her. So I'm surprised I probably didn't DM her like, oh my gosh, I love you.
We were both just like, oh my God. First of all, I can't even imagine you as a little girl because you're so cute and pretty now. I'm like, your little face is just the cutest thing I've ever seen. We were both obsessed. What job would you be doing if Love Island never happened?
Modeling.
Love.
Yeah. So in the beginning of the year, that was like last year, I remember I was working and I was still day trading. This year it was like, okay, no more of it. Well, the day trading, that's something that will always be with me because that's like a form of investment to me. So it's like, that's not going anywhere. Yeah. But anything else, I remember at the beginning of the year, I'm like, no, I'm not doing anything else. I'm not working another 9 to 5. I'm modeling. That's it. So literally I was taking it so seriously, booking my own shoots, making my own creative ideas, bringing teams together, trying to pitch, all these different things. So definitely modeling still, like that's not going anywhere. But
you love it.
I'm taking my steps and doing what I got to do so that when we get there, we'll get there.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, is that what you're manifesting for next year?
Next year, a lot of modeling, a lot of acting, so many different ideas coming together. So I'm like, I'm really excited. Like right now it's like doing the root work, like just planting the seeds, and then it's all gonna come. Because I'm a firm believer, like what's mine is mine. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be now. And I think since I'm someone who's like, I always speak about longevity, it's like things could start off slow and like steady because I'm analyzing everything so that when it's really going, it's gonna be going.
I said it today. I was like, some people just go too quick and say yes to everything, and it goes so fast. And I was like, still slow and steady is the way to go.
Yeah, and you get to learn. I'm learning a lot. Like this is a whole different type of life.
Totally.
I'm meeting different people, learning different personalities. Like it's just so much different experiences where it's like, okay, you know what? I'm a very observant person too, so I need to take my time with some things so that when it does come back around, I'm like, okay, I've been here. I know what to do. know. So I'm excited.
Are you loving LA?
I'm loving LA. Yeah. I already was, it's so crazy how life works. I already, in the beginning of the year, it was on my mood board. LA was going to be on my mood board to move to LA next March.
Oh my gosh.
Then, all of this happened. It's like, okay, my team is here. Everything is either happening here or New York. So it only just makes sense to just make the move right now.
That's awesome. Yeah. I love LA.
No, I do. You're from here?
I actually am. I lived in Nashville before I moved here.
Okay.
But I've been here for over 20 years now. Okay. And it's definitely home.
I feel like anyone who moves here, they stay here. Everybody that I've met aren't from here, but they've been here for like over 10 years and they're like, I can't leave
Once you live here, you cannot live anywhere else.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's the weather and the energy, but honestly, it's just the best place.
I could see that. I'm such a New Yorker. Like I love, even though I wasn't born there, like I'm Miami and New York, I always say that. But New York, there's something about it. Like you cannot get from anywhere else.
I've heard that.
The only thing I hate is the weather. If it didn't have the coldness that it had, if it had LA's weather, you would not see me leaving New York ever.
I mean, today it's raining, so it's very odd here. But it is like the weather just makes me happy.
It does. I can say that. I think, I don't know. We're going to see if it's going to have me staying here or not. But for now, like I am enjoying it.
Yes. Let's hope you do. Are you still pretty close to people from the show that you made friends with, or
Yeah. I mean, some people I'm really close with, others like no, and not any in a bad way. It's just more so like, it's so weird. Like I don't know. I feel like in the show, we all ended up having the same type of lifestyle. Like, we don't have different walks. Like we wake up and we're in the same space. So it's like, okay, we get to spend time together to realize, hey, if we were on the outside, we probably never would have ran into each other and became friends. But being on the inside, at least we know our personalities would allow us to be friends.
Totally.
But now being on the outside, it's like we're kind of back to reality where our day-to-day could look so different. We're so busy and stuff. So not everybody, but to those who do check in with me, I check in with them. I'm like, okay, you doing good? Good. Okay. And Instagram, social media, that's what that's there for too. Like, send a comment like, ooh, you look good. Oh, fire.
Because Pepe was saying that. Pepe was saying he made a lot of really close friends, but once the show was over, they kind of
everybody
drifted
kind of dispersed.
And he was sad about that. And I could imagine.
In there, we were always talking about, oh my gosh, can't wait till we all get out of here. We're going to take a big group trip and do our own thing. Yada, yada, yada. Then, we come out and it's like, oh, Never mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is there anything you would change about your experience on the show, or is it pretty much like...
No. I think to be honest, I had an amazing experience there. It's like without involving all the other stuff, like, you know, everyone's gonna say like production and this and that, which is a real thing. It can take away from the experience where it's like, oh my gosh, because you go in there thinking like, this is my world. Like basically, like I'm just in there doing whatever. And it's like, once you're there, you realize that's not how it goes.
Totally.
But there was a lot of moments where I could say like, wow, I just feel like not having to worry about the realities of the world. Like granted, I miss my family and friends, but just everything else, like I don't have to worry about anything. I can't, because it's not like I could do anything about it. So you're just kind of separated, where it's like you're living in a whole different society.
I was thinking that maybe that was refreshing. Just to get away from the real world for 2 seconds.
It was very refreshing. So sometimes I miss that in a sense, where it's like, wow, I kind of miss not even having to know what's going on social media and this and that. Like that I do miss. But I wouldn't change anything about it. I feel like everything happened exactly how it was meant to happen. Like in the villa, I had a good time. Like I enjoyed everybody.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So our listeners, they'll like write in and ask me questions.
Okay.
And then Dear Mom MT, that's what it's called. Let me see there. You sent it to my phone. Okay, let me see. We're getting to know the stoners.
Okay.
We call them stoners because we used to all be high.
Oh my God.
Listen, I was high.
Really? That used to be me. Now I can't. I'm allergic.
No, it was so funny because it was called... Our other one that I just said was called The Boring Quick Fire. It used to be called Truth or Toke.
Oh, okay.
And if you didn't want to answer, you had to smoke some weed.
Oh, wow. And I answered everything.
And you did.
I'd be like, it's okay though. Come on.
But I haven't smoked in a while. So we went to, we call it the boring game.
Okay.
But our fans and listeners are called the stoners.
Okay. Oh, that's so
Let's
cute.
See what she said.
My name is Samantha, and I'm from the Boston, Mass area. And I wanted to see if you guys had any specific recommendations for places to explore and eat and drink and see. I'm going to be going to LA in a month or so with a friend, and we like to just explore, and we're kind of travel buddies, so we like to see new places and do different things. I'm also planning to get a tattoo while we're there. So if you have any specific tattoo parlor recommendations, would love to hear that as well. We're either staying in like West Hollywood or somewhere central there, or maybe a little bit closer to the beach like Venice. But anyways, I love listening to your guys' podcast. You guys are the best. Such good vibes. Always put me in a good mood and bring me up when I'm feeling down. So appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, love you guys.
What a cutie.
Aww, she is.
Okay, she asked the wrong person about I never leave the house.
I don't know anything about any experiences because I haven't did any experiences in LA yet. But as far as food, like I'm a big foodie. I love cooking. So
tell us.
I've been trying to like learn the best spots to go to because I've had some run-ins. First of all, I heard LA is not the best food scene.
I would agree with that.
And then 2, I'm like, okay, well, I need to eat those. So how's that going to work? So I've been finding different places. So I have 3 places. Like one is, I don't know her food style, but one is Caribbean, one is Mediterranean, and one is, what's the other one? It was just my mind. Caribbean, Mediterranean, and Mexican.
Oh, tell us.
Javier's, I believe that's a Mexican cuisine, is so good. Like everything on the menu is amazing.
Okay.
Avra in Beverly Hills. It's Avra Beverly Hills. That's Mediterranean food.
Okay.
The lobster pasta, chef's kiss. And the Greek salad.
Okay.
Like I love feta cheese, so it's so refreshing. It tastes so good. And then for Caribbean food, there's this place called Lucia. It's Trinidadian food, like an upscale Trinidadian environment. It's so beautiful. The food is so good. So those are my top 3. If she likes any of those cuisines, I would highly recommend going to those.
Amazing. Because I never go out to eat ever.
No?
No.
You should. The
only place I go is to get smoothies in the morning.
When you said smoothies, I was so happy.
The Tish. No, I'm trying to think. The places I love are so lame. What is our guy? Okay, so we love this guy named Jamie for tattoos, and he is amazing and honestly so reasonably priced because tattoos here can be so insane.
I can imagine.
For a little
everything out here is crazy. I'm like, okay.
Let me see.
You follow him, so I think it has to be.
Yes. Jamie Jean Tattoos. JAMIEGENE Tattoos.
Joy Studio LA.
Yes. Okay. We can even put that up on my stories.
And I need that too. Because I also want more tattoos, but I'm like torn between me saying like, okay, me wanting to model more. I'm like, should I get more tattoos? But part of me wants a whole sleeve. So I'm like, me too. I got to think about this.
I know.
Thank you.
I love the hand.
This is so funny because when I got this, it was so impulsive. Like it was in the midst of me, like, I'm not working a 9 to 5. Like, let me do something that's going to make sure I don't do that. And then I got a hand tattoo. I love it. I was like, okay, this will do it.
This one and I, we
love hand tattoos. Yeah, I was looking, I was like, oh my gosh, I love your butterfly. Even the hand tattoo, they're so cute. And I know the hands hurt.
They do, but we'll go and we'll be like, we're just going to get one little one or a touch up. And then, of course, we come out with 2 more.
Oh, my goodness. I love that, though.
It is so addictive. Like, I love it so much. But this guy that we go to, and we'll put it up on Instagram, he is so good. And honestly, so reasonable. Like, I just feel like, and he's nice, and this shop is so cute, and it's just perfect. So we'll put that up.
What about the little vintage shops in Burbank and stuff?
Well, yes, we can put up Burbank Vintage Shopping, which is amazing. And also, you got to hit Topanga Canyon.
What is that?
So I don't know. Like, I'm really into interior design.
Yeah.
And so Topanga Canyon, it's very hippie, not like the 70s vibes, but they have such cute places to buy things for your house.
Oh, I need to go there then.
Yeah, a candle making.
Because I want my place to look so cute. So I'm like,
it's really cute.
I'll go there. Topanga Canyon, you said?
Topanga Canyon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
You'll have to have my number. We'll text and I'll let you know good places.
Okay, please.
I love it. But this was fun. This was like honestly so fun.
Thank you for having me.
It's hard. It's very rare that I like request somebody to come on the show, and I literally could not wait for you to come on the show.
Oh my gosh, that makes me, and I had so much fun here. I'm so happy I came. I'm so happy you had me here, that you requested me.
I just honestly,
I could brag.
You are so awesome, honestly.
Thank you.
And I love that you are like just so aware and intentional and all of those things that I actually really aspire to be, truly. And just best of luck.
Thank you.
And I just tell Ace, I said, I love him too.
I'll tell him. He's going to be like,
honestly, you all are truly the most beautiful couple I've ever seen.
Thank you.
You're all gorgeous, so cute together. I can't stand it.
That means so. I can't stop smiling.
I mean, you all are. Like, honestly, this the whole time I watched it, because they'll tell you, I just love people that just love. And so the whole time I was just like, Chelley and Ace, they need to be together.
No, I'm just so happy. I'm so happy we did.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
I'm happy for you.
He's going to be excited to hear that.
Yes. Okay, stoners. And also, let's not forget, next week is Thanksgiving. You have to tune in and hear all of the things that we love to do and not do on Thanksgiving. But also, if you want to give back, make sure and go to What a Peach in LA. There's multiple locations, and get the Tish smoothie, and all the proceeds, like I said, go to the Downtown Women's Shelter. Not a percentage, all of the proceeds. So if you can get to What a Peach and get the Tish smoothie, I would love that. And thank you guys. And I love you. Bye.
This podcast has been brought to you by Podcast Nation and Hopetown Entertainment.